I woke up thinking, is football on a decline? Is football as we know it on a downward spiral? Because after watching the game between Brazil versus Morocco last night, I was forced to reminisce about the Brazil of old. That majestic midfield of Ronaldinho, Kaká, Rivaldo, Kleberson, even a sprinkle of Dunga. Hmm? And then these men are on the pitch, and you have the right, the audacity to do what Morocco was doing to Brazil last night. It's impossible. But that also brings me to another topic. A friend of mine put up a picture today of a possible XI French national team, where you had players like Zinedine Zidane, Patrick Vieira, and Claude Makalele in the midfield. Nobody beats that in this current era. No midfield in this current era can compete with those guys. You know. So what I'm trying to say is that it's like the money that the players are making these days are causing their qualities to drop, because it's no longer about the game anymore. It's more about the money, the lifestyle, the cars, and all of that. All right, it's none of my business what they do or how they live their lives. But when you mention midfielders of the old, you cannot compare them to the midfielders of the now. We also had that discussion on that group. I know that my guys are going to listen to this. Okay, you cannot compare midfielders like Zidane, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Riquelme, Francesco Totti, Pavel Nedved, Deco, Michael Ballack, eh, to midfielders of today. Steven Gerrard, Lampard, Patrick Vieira, Paul Scholes, Clarence Seedorf, Edgar Davies, Gattuso, you dey hear Gattuso, Schweinsteiger, Xabi Alonso, Xavi, Claude Makalele, Roy Keane, Gilberto Silva, Emerson, Dieter Hamann, David Beckham, Luis Figo, Ryan Giggs, Robert Pires, Z Roberto, Juninho, Mendieta. Eh? You dey hear those names? Not to mention but a few. Oga, this current pool of midfielders of this era just sit down and chop money. Look at Anderson of Nottingham Forest. They came for him for 120 million pounds. The club refused. Wetin Anderson dey play? He get 4 legs. He does not play. He no fit. And in fact, in 20 years, in this list I just mentioned, he cannot make that list.